And then we took off for San Francisco. It was three weeks non-stop. It was an army transport. There was no stabilizers. The ship took back and forth. We slept on bunks in the hold, and we had the little luggage that we have was sitting on the floor. And at night it just rolled over from one end of the ship to the other end of the ship. And it was pretty rough. My brother was seasick most of the time. He didn't get out of the bed. My father and I, we were the only ones who would go up and have lunch or whatever they served. And we came close to the United States and to San Francisco. And as we arrived near San Francisco, there was thick fog, like usually, and the fog walls were sounding, and we couldn't see a thing. But just before, it was in the middle of the night, and just before we hit the Golden Gate Bridge, the fog lifted, and there was San Francisco in front of us. The beautiful, one of the most exciting days of my life. And we went we stopped in the train till daylight. Then we were processed by the American customs, and we got on board, got on Pier 32. And again, the Jewish community had arranged for us for lodging. We were put up in a very nice hotel at Union Square. We got the cab fare to take us there, and we got, I think, at $8 a person per week, which was a lot of money at that time, for food. And we lived the life of Riley for about 3 or 4 weeks. And then my father and I, we started to look for work because we wanted to stay in San Francisco. And my father found a job at the American can factory, which doesn't exist anymore, as a machinist. And I had to start as a janitor because I had problems getting into the union. I got the catch-22. The dealership said, we hire you as soon as you get into the union. The union said, we get you into the union as soon as you're getting hired. So that took about 3 months, and then through some connections, I got a job at a dealership, joined the union, and then we started our new life from scratch. I came with hardly any money, and so my father also, he was 62 at that time. He could not find work. What he did, he went from company to company and told them, let me work for you for nothing to prove to you that I can do the job. And finally somebody put him up on that, and he worked there till about he was 70 years old. So we rented an apartment in Leavenworth Street, and in the meantime, Ilse and I started to correspond. We wrote these letters to each other, and we fell all over in love again. And there was an opportunity, but we could never know. There was an opportunity because her parents couldn't come to the United States, but they got a chance to go to Bolivia. Bolivia wouldn't let any Jews in, but there was a Catholic priest in Shanghai who, for a few dollars, issue baptism certificates to people. And they got the baptism certificates, and they that they got a visa to come go to the Bolivia, but they had to come through the United States to get to Bolivia. So there was our chance. I picked up Ilse and her parents from the pier a year later, before 1949, and we got to talking, and we decided to get married. In the meantime, I contacted an attorney who specializes in immigration. He arranged for Ilse to get a stay of deportation so that she doesn't have to leave the country. We got married, and 1 year later, 1950, she got her visa to come to the United States. So we both had to leave the United States, and she went to an American consulate in Vancouver, Canada, and then we could enter the United States legally. And, so from then on it went up all the way. We both saved money, we made investments. I worked for, I became a manager at my dealership. He also worked at the telephone company, and we saved our money, and we decided to have children. With 3 of them. Peter is one. There's Lila and there's Stephen.
No.
They're all married, wonderful. Lisa, yeah. Oh, Lisa. They all ended up with wonderful wives and a husband. And we have a very wonderful family, and we are very fortunate that we could do what we did, and we all had a happy ending. And no, we lived happily ever after. And let's see, there are a few lessons we can learn from all that. One is I admire my father, who never gave up, and we never heard a word of complaint from him. He was always trying to do his best he can, even if the odds were very bad. Another, keep your faith, no matter how bad things are. There's always a chance that it will be better. And a third lesson that you learn, when you hear bigotry or when you hear hatred words said, fight against it, because if you don't, hate will take over. And that's my story.
Anyway, he came from a very well-to-do family, and they, from being very, very well-to-do, they had to experience Hitler, and then from then on, very hard life. Okay, and then until we worked ourselves out again. Okay, so that's what I want to have.
Any questions? Yes.
Did you ever come back to Germany after you came home?
Oh yeah, that's another story. In
Repeat the question.
In Germany, I met a girl who lived on the same floor as us. She was not Jewish, and we were very charming together. She came to our house to play. I went to her house to play. We took bike rides together, including my brother, and we were very close. And then one day I came to their house, and her father took me aside and said, "Gunther, it is better if you don't see each other again, because we would both get in trouble, because the Nazis issued laws that made it a crime for Jews to mix with non-Jewish Germans." So we both never talked to each other. We didn't know each other when we met, and so I thought that was the end of it. And about 6 years ago, the Red Cross contacted my brother. They found his telephone number and asked him if we are willing to be contacted by somebody. And the one who tried to contact us was the girl, Elfriede was her name. And we started to correspond and talk on the phone. And so about 3 years ago, we decided to meet. And what?
2 years ago.
2?
Yeah.
2 years ago. It's corrected. And so we arranged for a reunion in Germany, and we under the auspices of the Red Cross, and we went to Germany, to a small town called Swedish Hall, and we were put up in a hotel, and we arranged a get-together with Elfriede. Huh? Yeah. Yeah.
This one.
And we were treated royally, and we made an arrangement the Red Cross arranged for us to get together. It was videoed, and Elfriede, she was 91, like me, and we met and we embraced, and we spent 10 glorious days together, reminiscing, and we met her whole family, and we left after 10 days, and we are still in touch, and we talk on the phone, and we are glad that happened. And the Germans that we met in Germany at that time wondered if we can forget or forgive what has been done to us. We forgive, but we cannot forget. But that is that end of the story.
Can I add one thing to the story that we just left out? Let me just say one thing that I know about the story also is that Mr. Ullman mentioned the man who said there are no Jews in our building. Well, that was Elfriede's father. So the connection was very important that they, in a small way, saved my family. So having that reconnection by the Red Cross was all over it because they saw this amazing people story of, the Jew and the Gentile reconnecting so many decades after the war, when really they had nothing to hate anymore, and so they could be very happy to meet again. So it was a really lovely little people story.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, in Jerusalem, in Israel, there's a Yad Vashem, which is a Holocaust memorial. And inside the Holocaust memorial, there's a garden. And in the garden, they commemorate non-Jews that helped Jews during the terrible times that happened. There were Chinese, there were Japanese, there were Germans, there were Catholics, there were all kinds of people who really helped the Jews when the things were going tough. And they are being honored by Israel. No? Yes?
Well, I don't talk that much otherwise. I think it's pretty similar, except it was pretty similar. But the thing is that I was younger, 5 years younger, and I don't remember as much, especially not days. And well, our only way to get away from Vienna was Shanghai also. And we escaped and part of our family, but we left also some relatives which were out there. And we had a business which we had to close. Kristallnacht was the night when we had to get out of our apartment and could just take out whatever we could carry out quick. Otherwise we lost it all. We had to move in with other people in the same building, and we had to start our life over again in Vienna until we left for Shanghai. And then the story more or less in Shanghai was pretty similar. I think. I don't think there was much more. Huh? Store? In Shanghai? Yeah, we had a business in Shanghai also. And we had to move also in the designated area. And had to start all over again in Shanghai twice even. And then my parents had to go to Bolivia because they couldn't stay.